PAP stands for post-activation potentiation. And what it is this concept that if you combine a power movement with a strength movement, and the strength movement precedes the power movement. So you do like a split squat. You do a split squat movement, and then you combine it with a power movement that involves similar muscle groups, like a jump split squat. Then you get more muscle cells involved in that exercise. You create more power. If we went straight into that split squat, there's a certain amount of nerves and muscle cells that are just asleep. They're just dead weight. They just belong to the ride. But if you precede it with a strength movement, you essentially wake up those neurons, and you get those muscle cells that are normally dead weight. You get them engaged, and so you create more power. Does that make sense? Yeah. It's really, this is one of the hottest things in sports science right now. It's been studied like crazy over the last 10 years, especially out of Germany and out of Great Britain, out of Australia, and now out of the US. It's been studied over and over and over and over. Absolutely real phenomena. You precede a power movement with a strength movement, and get bigger power output. So that's sort of the core of this PAP concept.
Kerry, can you roll that video because it's not rolling for me up here? I want people to see some of the variety of those moves.
And it can involve almost any strength and power move, but the key is that similar muscle groups are engaged. Similar muscle groups from the strength movement into the power movement are engaged. So this is Tony at our place.
Good time.
Yeah, up on the ball, you put two directions for 30 seconds. It doesn't look like much.
Now, why does the PAP program, the PAP aspects of P90X2, why did we build it so late into the program versus weave it throughout the 3 phases?
Well, I mean, it's intense training. And it's really intense. It involves all these proprioceptive feedback mechanisms, lots of balance. I mean, your body has to be free engaged to be able to execute these movements. And so we want to build a base in strength, we build a base in plyometrics, we work on ground contacts a lot. How your foot interacts with the ground is incredibly important. These are, I think these are, there's athletes around, there's some other P90X people around. But essentially, you need to build a foundation before you throw somebody into this PAP type training. And we do that even with our athletes. You know, if we're bringing a pro athlete, we're going to do some foundation work before you throw them into these PAP circuits.
Now, an athlete, okay, you know, somebody who has gotten to a specific level of the sport, make it through the collegiate ranks, be the best of the best. It shocks me. You would just expect that these guys would have this stuff dialed in. I mean, again, when I talked to Isabel about when she would train Maurice Green and these Olympic runners and stuff, and to find out the degree to which she had to train them to explode out of the blocks and stuff, just the smallest moves that they still hadn't mastered. Is that what they're coming to you for? And it's hard for me to believe then that a DVD program could actually be that valuable to these guys at this level.
You know, like I said a minute ago, we've had pro athletes in almost every sport show up at our place and tell us they've been doing P90X. And once I started, once we started talking about getting involved and being on the scientific advisory board, and then after I committed to this, when I hear that, I start laughing a little bit. You know, they see me giggling, and usually the response is something like, "No, that's a real shit, man. That's not." It's not that I'm mocking it. It's because I'm actually involved in the company, and it's amazing to me how many athletes, how many pro athletes are doing this program. I think it's the best thing they've done in training up to this point. You know, and then they show up at our place, and then we're a lot more specific about this whole thing, right? Yeah, pro athletes have holes all over the place. You know, what do we find on this? What is it?
Well, it was my explosive power on my right side.
Hip stability on the right side. Need a little bit more power out of that side.
Does this look familiar to anybody who showed up my workout? I mean, 30 seconds of this and you just want to shoot yourself. But as a result of the work that you and I have been doing, here at almost 53 years old, I just thought that was going to be, weakness in me, and I'd have to overcompensate on the other side. I mean, I've had that weakness for 30 years, and now I don't, as a result of what we've done.
Unique personality to be as good as he is at something and still be open to continuing to learn, right? So he showed up and we humiliated him with a few things, and now he's better. And this hole that he had that was going to continue to get worse as he went through life, this instability in his hip that leads to extraneous movement over his knee and starts wearing out a knee, which eventually ends up being a big problem, isn't going to be the big problem it's going to be. And so that's at the heart of all this stuff. I mean, our interest is in developing the world's best athletes. We really, I mean, in every sport, we get calls almost on a weekly basis from GMs and owners wanting to send their athletes out to us or their teams out to us to get this, to get a competitive advantage in terms of specificity, get this sports science overlay to do a better job of taking care of their athletes. Really, in every sport, that's the case. But these systems we're building, they're the same systems you guys have. I mean, they really are. They just haven't been, you know, these athletes, they've been developed out to this level. And you guys are somewhere else along this curve, you know, maybe close to this, maybe back here. But they're all the same systems. You need hip stability, you need mobility, you need all these systems that athletes need to move well, to keep your body working well for a long time. And so our commitment is to bring all this stuff we're bringing to the pro athlete world, all the sports science, all this leading edge technology,